There you go.
All right, welcome to our second session of Momentum. Today we have only 2 participants, and that's why we are recording. I mean, it's understandable that due to the weather conditions, you weren't able to make it. So yeah, that's totally fine, and that's why we are bringing this video to you, right to your device. So today we are going to talk about business planning. That is very important as being an entrepreneur, so you can have more planning of your ideas and of your activities, which is very nice. And maybe some of you have heard about the business model canvas. If you have, you will learn more about from it today, and if you haven't heard of it, you will learn it today, which is very helpful. And we are going to touch some other points about the business planning, which my partner Tom will talk about some of them. All right, so welcome again, and we are here to help you with these resources.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so as
That's okay, no problem.
as Jared said, we're going to talk a little bit about business model canvas, which is part of the planning. Okay, so talk a little bit about the program. This first part of the program, this first sessions, is all about introspection, a little bit, and then we're going to move slowly to external parts, extrovert parts of the business. So as you know, last session was about the entrepreneur persona, which was about you, how you manage yourself in a business. Today we're going to talk about like the introspection part of your own business. Okay, so we call it planning session, but we won't talk about strategic planning. It's more about like it's kind of the test that you did, the Myers-Briggs test, but for your business. It's kind of the personality of your own business. So you guys have a paper, a handout. Each of you can take one. Okay. So that's the business model canvas. So what is the business model canvas? Have you guys heard about business model canvas before? Well, you did, right? Yeah. Okay. So, pardon?
Oh, no, I was just saying only because I knew of a business plan before, but not the specific model of it.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to have a strategic planning session in Momentum, but today we're going to talk about this planning that is more the personality of the business, let's say. So, Business Model Canvas was a PhD thesis at UC Berkeley, California. It was a group of PhDs that was come up with that. And they come up with that because it was the boom of the internet startups. So before that, if you want to run for investment in a VC company, or you want to loan money from banks, you need to do a business plan, which is that big, boring document. Like it's kind of a book that says all the life of your business, right? But what happened is that works very well, but what happened is that for startups that sometimes lasts only 6 months, it's like just an opportunity, a business around one opportunity that's very quick, they don't even have time to do a business plan, okay? So they come up with this is kind of a business plan in one page, kind of, okay? So the business model canvas has all the important aspects of business, so as you can see here. And you can like just fill it square by square, and you can see before even starting your business if that's a good idea or not. Okay, but for the one that start a business, that gives you a macro vision of your business. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, so we tend to start business when you really love what you do, as you guys. We tend to jump in right in the operation. So we always think about money, cost, how much profit I can make it, how much work I have to do with that, but we kind of forget some core aspects as well in your business. And you might you have your business for some years now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Amanda, you may face every single step of it, but you don't think of every step as like business planning, you know?
No, I don't.
So now I want you to see your business in a different point of view. Okay, that's the idea of this session. Okay, so just so you know, great entrepreneurs, serial entrepreneurs have all this in their minds. So when they say, "Oh, I have a great idea," they already done all of this in their minds. So it's kind of a nice skill to have, even if you're not planning to be a serial entrepreneur. But every single opportunity that you may see in your business, you can put that. It doesn't need to be a whole new business. It can be just like, I want to have another clothes in my store. Like,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask, like, you could apply this to any new product or
Product,
whatever you want.
yes, service, any other thing, you can apply all this. Okay, so it can be like a macro business or just new opportunity that you have, that you see. Okay, any questions about it so far? So the idea is that we're gonna fill this in this session, and then I don't expect that to be perfect the first time. It's a little confusing the first time, but I want you to take it home, and then next session you bring it again and we can talk more about it. Okay?
Exactly. And yeah, of course, that model of business canvas will be sent to you electronically, so you can work on it as well. And there is some guidance on it. It will be sent to you as well. And as Tom was mentioning, it sometimes applies to, well, not sometimes, always applies to all businesses, to like the senior businesses or the successful ones. So even if you are maybe following it up, maybe you have lost track of it, and if you haven't started and you start tracking it, you will find way more success on your business. And that is basically what we are trying to do on this program for you, that you can apply more knowledge in order to be better entrepreneurs and always keep improving. So that is basically, every session will be about it, about being better, but that is today's session, exactly. Right?
Thank you. Okay, so let's start. So the other nice thing about the business model canvas is that it's built just like the way our brain works. So you can see that there's a square or a rectangle saying value proposition right in the middle. That's kind of the heart of the business. Okay. And the right side is the side that is more creative, so the side that you can play, that you always can change in order to make like your business more satisfying for you. And the left side is more straightforward, so things that you need to apply in order to have your business. Okay? And just so you know, the second page is questions that will help you fill this out, but today I'll guide you, okay? So that's for when you're alone. As a homework, you can use the second page as questions on how to fill all these squares, okay? So we're gonna start with, obviously, the heart of the business, value proposition. So value proposition is basically, what is your business? So if you see the next page, it says, the question we have is, from whom you're creating value and who are your most impossible, that's the second. The first one is, what value do we deliver to the customer? Which one of our customer problems are we helping to solve? What bundles of product and service we are offering to each of customer segment, and which customer needs we're satisfying? Okay, so that's basically the core of your business. Why your business exists. Okay, so you can start filling this out by saying what stands your business up, like why people choose your business from the others. So what kind of things only you can provide?
Yeah, maybe any point of difference or any essential value.
cheating.
I know, but just to see what I'm writing now and what I wrote before.
So no
Pretty
cheating
much.
at home, okay?
Yeah.
But
Oh, that's okay. That's still
it was
okay.
interesting just to see.
Yeah.
Let's see if I'm still on the same track.
Another thing you should put here is think of your business as a person. Like when you put your hat on business owner, you of course act a little different than if you're with your friends and family. So what kind of values do your business have? And you as a business owner, values like we talk about honesty, but sometimes like customer service. What kind of things that you value that you don't want that to be out of your business, let's say? What kind of things you don't negotiate ever in your business?
And yeah, as part of information about it, I mean, knowing that the current triple bottom line of businesses, which is about being social responsible, eco-friendly responsible, and eco responsible, and of course talking about the profits. I mean, the triple bottom line. Maybe you can include that as you were maybe trying to do, and if you are not doing it, maybe it would be a good advice. I mean, there are just advices. Maybe to start doing it. It's just something that it's up to you.
Yeah, but try to think in your business as of now. Don't say like, I would like to do that.
Okay.
But what do you do actually?
Too much.
Too much.
So let's do a two-way communication. Let me hear from you guys what you're writing.
So, size inclusive activewear. Like I want to make sure that the fit is good for all body types.
Mm-hmm.
I offer custom made, so if people need like the bottom half one size and like the waist the other, I have that as an option.
Nice.
I'm committed to staying handmade and small, not going to factory.
Mm-hmm.
I source my fabrics and I'm kind of overly picky on my fabrics.
Yeah.
Like with roller derby, there's like a lot of times there's photographers at games and stuff, and a lot of times there'll be flashes and pants are see-through. So one thing that I do is I test every single fabric I sell, doing a flash and making sure that it's not see-through.
Nice.
And then just like a commitment to customer satisfaction. So if a fit's not right for them, then I'll do whatever I need to do to fix it or refund them if they don't want to try a different size or like I said, the smaller waist and whatever.
Good.
That's all I got.
So I see customization,
Yeah.
quality, and customer satisfaction.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Those are good, great values.
Okay.
Nice. Okay.
And I heard, how can they allow flash photography? Like I heard too, like when I do sports photography, I don't use a flash.
Oh, you should see it. Like they'll set up like 5 or 6 flash
Yeah.
stands. Yeah. We don't notice it.
Yeah.
Half the time we don't even notice like the crowd cheering because we're into the
Just
game,
doing the
right?
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
So yeah, my professional photography, timeliness, creative vision, preserving memories, professionally printed photos, high quality action shots / sports photography,
Mm-hmm.
and fine art prints.
Good. Nice. So also kind of customer satisfaction.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
In sports, that's one thing that you stands out, right?
yeah,
At least here.
yeah.
Nice. Okay. Moving on to customer segments. So that's basically it's nice. That's funny because sometimes we think we know who they are, and sometimes we don't. But customer segments are basically the people that we are serving. So like our clients or target market. And it's nice to think of them as one person. So like creating personas about your customer segment. So if you could write in your customer as one person, how it will look like or what it will be.
Yeah, and it can be segmented through demographic, I mean like age, gender, or it can be demographic, like any location, or it can be by income, maybe high income people, low income. I mean, those are some examples that might help you to remember what the segments are.
So you can start just putting what does your customer look like male, female, from 25 to 40, income level, high income level, that lives in certain mountain. That will be the start.
Not for me.
For me.
Just to picture this, I have a business back in Brazil that was grocery delivery, and because of my background is in computer science, I want to make an app. So people, instead of calling me saying their grocery list, they would just, I made an app, they would put their list in an app, and I go to the supermarket, do the groceries and deliver. And because of the app, the first time that I made this, my customer segment was like teenagers, millennials, that would do their groceries, blah blah blah, and was very happy serving millennials. Like it was like my people basically. But turns out the people that uses my service was family people, so like moms and dad that has no time. They both work, and I had to change it. So I had to change everything just because I target the wrong person, the wrong people. So in my case, it would be like family people, usually moms that worked and has at least 2 children, and one of them are like babies or early stages of life, let's say, and they don't have time. And the time that they have, they want to spend with their family. So that was my customer segment, my customer persona. And of course, you can have more than one. You need to have only one customer segment. The good thing about knowing your customer segment is that you know how to serve them better and you know how to talk to them. That's most important. So when you know your customer, you can make, let's say, ads, advertising, or like if you have social media, you can talk to them in the way they absorb better. So you don't talk the way you talk to the millennials, you don't talk to like older people and everything in between, right? If your customer segment is woman, you don't talk the same way if they were men, right?
Or maybe it could be also the design of your store or of your website. All that stuff it can also change. Or the resources that you are using, it can be also different. Maybe a tablet for millennials, let's say, and maybe for some other segment you are using more magazines, something like that. It could be like just an example.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys had the chance to see the old Cube logo. Just to give an example. It was like Cube written.
Just a squares.
Oh,
Square,
yeah.
yeah.
Line, like,
It was
just-
too corporate, let's say. But we always target students and people, like we have students in our target market as well as people from the community. So we said like this logo doesn't talk to them, right? It doesn't talk to our entire target market. So we come up with something more modern. Right?
Cleaner.
Yeah, cleaner, for
And then,
sure.
I mean, it goes with the whole rebranding, right? Like it's
Yeah.
very, like everything's,
Of course, yeah.
yeah.
And it has the college, the colors as well.
College
so
as well,
it represents the
important.
college. And
Yeah.
stuff.
Good, let me hear. Wanna start, Susan?
Sure. So I said people interested in preserving memories, that's my
Nice.
broad. And then, so for something like family photography, I started at least middle class to afford photography packages. But the main thing is people that they have to have the value on
Yeah.
wanting their family,
They
like
know
if
the
it's,
quality.
of a family photograph. It's not just,
Yeah.
I don't just do, I shouldn't, like I'm not a Walmart photographer that.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
catered to them. And then as far as athletics, like I said, athletes and their families. So for cheerleading, for competitive cheer, it's more their families, like
Mhm.
that are going to purchase any photography I do for that. Like basketball and stuff like that, I would think it'd be the athletes that would be interested in there. And that would, I think, for that demographic, because they're college age kids, they just want a digital file because they just want to share it on their social media. They don't necessarily want a printed
Mm-hmm.
shot. And when I was doing squash last November, same thing they wanted. They just were purchasing the digital files because then they put it on their social media
Nice.
and do
Yeah.
whatever with it.
Let's see how.
So it's like different. Like I mean, the cheer parents are going to want
Mhm.
a printed photograph,
Yeah.
and so the demographics of what sport it is and what age is participating in that sport. I think.
It's nice to see how this
What?
industry changes, right?
Yeah.
For years.
Yeah.
Well, another important thing about this that I didn't mention, but I think you guys get it, is that if you're thinking your customer segment is everyone, that's just totally wrong, right? And the reason is that you can please everybody, right? So the goal of segmenting your customers and to know them very well is that you can please all of them.
Right.
So the more specific you can get, the better. which means it will mean that we'll get less people, but that's totally fine. If you
Yeah.
find your
Because
niche,
you're more
Yeah.
focused.
you're more focused,
Yeah.
right?
So like for me down the road, I want to offer printing services to photographers,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not there yet for my
Yeah.
education within the whole print. Like I mean, I can print, but to be able to print more than just on photography paper.
Yeah.
Like I can't print canvases or anything like that. But that's a down the road because there's a market for that. I know there's only one guy in Sarnia that does it. So
Yeah, of course. Cool. What about you, Amanda?
Okay, so my target customer would be active, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
They want something quality, and their body type, like they don't fit the regular mold for
Mhm.
sizing and everything.
Yeah.
They prefer to support small business instead of factory made,
Mm-hmm.
and they value, there's something in the derby community which is like derby owned, which is like you skate, you play, you make sort of thing, so they value that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you guys were just talking, I realized I also had a target for a wholesale customer,
Yeah.
which would be, they would want to buy Canadian-made products,
Mm-hmm.
and they're okay with paying a higher amount than you could get overseas,
Yeah.
because it is handmade, and I won't undercut myself.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't know. That's
And I believe you guys get it. You get this, so you guys are good. Usually we have like more time. We spend more time on that. The only thing that I want from you guys doesn't need to be right now, but it's actually talking about their age, their income level, all this. Because in the next section, we'll talk about market research, and I want you guys to like know exactly how big is the market that you're in here in San Antonio. So you're gonna know at the end of the next session, you're gonna know how many people are in your target market.
I don't do any sales in Sarnia Lambton.
Well, whenever.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just thought-
sorry, I said
Okay.
San Antonio, but
No, okay, I just want to make sure.
Whenever
because
you
I'm
can.
like, no.
like if your market is in the whole Canada, you will know how many people exactly, like 500 people or 5,000,
Okay.
whatever.
You don't know how big your customer segment is, or
Okay.
your customer segments.
Then if you know what is the average ticket of every client, you can know how much money there is in your market.
Okay.
We're gonna do that next session. Okay, so next one is customer relationships. So this is very important. It's basically exactly what it says. How will you maintain your relationship with your customer, right? Because it's proven that it's way cheaper to keep a customer than to acquire a new one. We want you guys to have a good relationship with them, right? So, example of customer relationships nowadays, very easy, and I suggest you guys to have it, is social media. So posting every time, like what you're doing, asking some questions, like interacting with your clients is a good way to keep a relationship. But you have to know what works best for your clientele, right? So I have a customer that surprisingly put here that they actually call their clients, client by client, they call them. And that works for them. And their client like that. They actually, like,
No, it's just
yeah, I know, it's surprising as well. When she said, like, I actually call my clients, that's the way I keep my relationship with them. I was like, wow. But yeah, today we have social media, lots of platforms. We have newsletter, email marketing. All of this is not about advertisement. It's about
interaction.
Keep them
Like a
like
community.
yeah, knowing that you're open, basically, like in the most basic level. But how can you keep your customer? And it can be gift cards like that. How do you call it?
Memberships?
Membership
Yeah.
cards. All this to keep your customer coming.
Yeah, engaged or something. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.